Well, the December 31st deadline is here, but it appears there's only more confusion than clarity on seat sharing in the India bloc. The gloves are off in Maharashtra, where the Uddhav faction of the Shiv Sena and the Congress party are locked in a war of words over the seat sharing arrangement. Times Now has learnt that the state unit of the Congress party has recommended to the 5-member Congress Central Committee that the party must contest in 27 of the 48 Lok Sabha seats, citing depleted strength of the Shiv Sena and the NCP following the split in their respective parties. This leaves 21 seats, and the party has urged Shiv Sena, UBT and the NCP divide these remaining seats. Now, the state party leadership is also considering the inclusion of Prakash Ambedkar and his party in the alliance, and a discussion was also held on how many seats could be allocated to his party if he decides to join the alliance. So what's the equation like in Maharashtra as we speak? Now, Uddhav's Shiv Sena wants 23 of the 48 seats, which leaves 25 seats for the Congress and the NCP. But remember, the undivided Shiv Sena had won 18 seats in 2019, but now 13 of those MPs are in the Shinde faction. On the other hand, the Congress party wants 27 seats for themselves, up from 25 in 2019, despite having won only a single seat in the previous elections. As the negotiations continue, the Congress party is pulling no punches on its ally. They believe Uddhav's Shiv Sena cannot win without the Congress party's support, and has warned that the party not make any statements against the Congress party.
अकेले दम पे नहीं चुप के आ सकते, उनको कांग्रेस की मदद चाहिए, राष्ट्रवादी कांग्रेस की मदद चाहिए और हमको भी शिवसेना की मदद चाहिए। मैं इसको करेक्ट करता हूं। इसलिए अभी तक सीट शेयरिंग हुई नहीं है, मालूम नहीं कौन कहां से लड़ेगा, किसको कितनी सीटें मिलेगी। रोज रोज प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करने का जो आपको शौक चल रहा है, वो शौक पालिए, लेकिन कांग्रेस को गाली देने के लिए नहीं। न तो सामना का दुरुपयोग होना चाहिए कांग्रेस के खिलाफ, और नहीं प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंसेस होने चाहिए। सामना में लिख करके उन्हें शिवसेना और बीजेपी का झगड़ा कराया, उसके बाद शिवसेना की क्या दुर्गति सामने दिख रहा है, क्या कांग्रेस से रिश्ता खराब करने?
So let's take a look at the numbers as they stand in the Lok Sabha seats and the assembly seats in Maharashtra. The Congress party won only a single seat in 2019 out of the 25. But the MP unfortunately passed away this May. The undivided NCP contested in 19 seats and won 4. The undivided Shiv Sena contested in 23 seats in 2019 and won 18 of them. Now, citing these figures, the Uddhav faction reiterated that the Congress party doesn't even have a single MP and hence does not have much of a bargaining power either.
मैंने ऐसा नहीं कहा कि कांग्रेस को जीरो से शुरू करना। मैंने ये नहीं कहा कि कांग्रेस जीरो है। मैंने ये कहा है कि महाराष्ट्र में कांग्रेस है, कांग्रेस का कैडर है, कांग्रेस के नेता है, कांग्रेस पार्टी है, हमारे साथ उनका गठबंधन है और रहेगा। मैंने इतना ही कहा था भाई कि कांग्रेस के पास आज एक भी सांसद नहीं। हमारे पास 18 थे, उसमें से कुछ चले गए, 6 बाकी हैं। हम महाविकास आघाड़ी में एक दूसरे को हाथ पकड़कर लगभग 40 सीटें जीत पाएंगे, इस प्रकार की ताकत हमारे में है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी को भी जीतने के लिए ईवीएम चाहिए ना, वो थोड़ा अकेली जीत सकती है। उनका अलायंस ईवीएम से है।
My colleague Rishabh joins us on the broadcast with the details of how this is going to play out. Rishabh, today was the deadline, but clearly there's been no headway, especially in Maharashtra, where the Shiv Sena is clear, and in fact even calling out the Congress party, saying you don't have a single representative from the state.
Well, definitely. What's happening in Maharashtra is something very, very interesting. Remember what happened back in 2019 and what's happening in 2024 is completely different picture. Back then, there was one Shiv Sena, there was one NCP. Now there's a faction of Ajit Pawar, there's a faction of Sharad Pawar in NCP. In Shiv Sena, there's a Uddhav Thackeray faction, there's a Shinde faction, and one of each factions are there in the government as well. So comparing what happened in 2019 and 2024 is very difficult task, and that's the reason that things are complicated in Maharashtra. If we talk about numbers, Shiv Sena United won 23 seats in 2024, contested 23 seats and won 18 out of them in 2019. But now, out of those 18, 13 have left the Thackeray faction and have joined Shinde faction with BJP. Similarly, in NCP also a lot of MPs have moved toward the Ajit faction faction, and the way things are panning out, it is very difficult for the parties to give up their seats, while Congress do understand that these parties are not the same they were back in 2019, and hence Congress believe that they can flex the muscle. And that's the reason that even on the deadline, the day deadline is 31st of December 2023, there is no clarity on the number of seat sharing. While Shiv Sena still say that we'll contest at 23, but on what basis they fail to logically explain that. Congress say that we want 27 seats. They won just one back in 2019. So all the three parties that are part of I.N.D.I.A Alliance in Maharashtra, they all want seats, but all three of them are failing to logically explain why they want these many seats. 48 seats for grab. Remains to be seen how things unfold from here.
Okay, all right. Rishabh, thank you for joining us with those details. Of course, the discussions still continue, but a similar problem also appears to be emerging in Bengal, following TMC Supremo Mamata Banerjee's assertion that the TMC doesn't need anyone to defeat the BJP in Bengal. But what do the numbers suggest? In 2019, the TMC had contested in all 42 seats and won 22 of them. And Mamata Banerjee maintains they don't really need anyone's support in Bengal.
नहीं देखिए, मुझे तो उम्मीद है कि अलायंस इंटैक्ट रहेगा, और मेरी अपनी व्यक्तिगत राय ये है कि जो भी गठबंधन के दल हैं या पार्टियां हैं, उनको सार्वजनिक बयान देने से बचना चाहिए, क्योंकि ये मामला बयान देने से इसका हल नहीं है। ये तो बैठकर बातचीत के द्वारा ही तय किया जाएगा कि किसके पाले में कितनी सीट जाएगी।
In democracy, there should be discussion. Of course, each party has its own desire, ambition. Let them express their ambition. It's not that totalitarian state, the way that BJP functions, that its allies were sidelined completely, like Akali Dal, Shiv Sena, Janata Dal, they were marginalized, and Congress will not do. And all allies of I.N.D.I.A Bloc are free to express their opinion.
Let's go across to my colleague Adrija joining us on the broadcast to understand how it's playing out in West Bengal. Well, Adrija, today is the deadline, and yet again we saw what happened in Maharashtra, in Bengal as well. The TMC very clear that in West Bengal in particular, it does not need the support of anyone to come into power and win the maximum amount of seats. How is this playing out with the Congress party now within the mix?
Well, absolutely. You see, from earlier, like the past 2 days, negotiation talks have been on, but we don't see any conclusion where the TMC and the Congress have come into, especially in the state of West Bengal, where Congress is demanding at least 9 seats in the state to contest from, and TMC is only willing to give 2 seats, one being south of Malda and another being Baharampur and Murshidabad. So therefore, TMC, of course, there is no, have said that, there is no point and no question of giving more than 2 seats because they're in no mood. But apart from that, Mamata Banerjee, the TMC Supremo, have come out and mentioned very clearly and confidently that they do not need any other party in the state of West Bengal to fight and oust the BJP, because TMC is the strongest party here. And she has also mentioned that I.N.D.I.A Alliance will remain intact across the country, but in West Bengal, TMC very confident that they will be, even if there is an alliance, they will be leading the charge.
Thank you for joining us with those details. So the seat sharing discussions still continue in West Bengal as well. Remember, the deadline that had been issued was the 31st of December. Now, there's no reaction coming in from both the sides. Naturally, the BJP has called out the opposition alliance over their inability to decide on the seats. Listen in.
The political culture of I.N.D.I.A Alliance is based on feudalism. Every leader in respective state considers themselves as the feudal lord. Mamata Banerjee is a feudal lord in West Bengal, and Tejasvi is a landlord in Bihar, and similarly Kejriwal in Delhi. So this is a similar pattern all over the country. Therefore, I consider that this is not an alliance. In Hindi, what we call Bhanumati ka Kunva.